Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle video tutorial on Affinity Photo and in particular the ripple crunched effect. Well, how can you do it? Well, you go to Filters, Distort and Equations. So bring that up, it brings up a panel. Unfortunately there's no presets. Only way around that is to use macros, so you can store macro via the View, Menu and Studio and Macros. You can store them there into the libraries I should say, but you can create the macro for it. But I'm just going to copy the formulas in. So I'm just going to go to my document and I've got this document here. Now you can go to the Graphicxtras website, read the article about this filter, all the various details you can use. So just select the X and what you need to do is put that into there. And then go to the Y. And at this point you think, oh, that's a bit strange. You've got nothing, absolutely nothing. Nothing's appeared. Not very good filter. However, go down to extend mode. Why it doesn't default to mirror or wrap or something useful, do not know. Always makes no sense to me. However, mirror. Then you can see the effect. Very weird. 0. Why would anyone want that? Anyway, what you can do, you can change the parameters and you can see the different effect. Now, I'm not obviously I could explore a whole range and create a very like Doctor Who theme-like sort of as ripples as it goes through. Obviously, depending on the underlying image, of course, you can see that sort of design was very much. If you could have a time-lapse feature in Affinity Photo as well, that would be amazing because I would love to record this as an MP4 file. That would be brilliant. Anyway, you can do that and you can move it around because of the RX settings in there. Click Apply. Now, what you can do, you can also fade it. So if you want to, you can go to Layer and you can fade the equation. And you can see then you get the result of in between, and you can maybe go for different blending mode. So difference, maybe there, and you can see you can create some very interesting color effects by just doing a fade command. Cancel. Now I'm going to go back. What you can also do, you can repeat the effect. Now all this does is use the same settings, so you might not want to do that. You can always, of course, go back to distort and equations and like there, but repeat, distort, and then go to repeat equations and you can create some very interesting combinations using that. And again, what you can do, you can always go to layer and fade equations again and just apply that and change the different, lighten, etc. So just undo there. Also what you can do, you can go to channels and that's View and Studio and Channels. And you can maybe select the red. Again, instead of going this one, distort equations, I'm just going to use repeat. It's quicker. Simple as that. It's just quicker. But I will go into it again later, but that's a different matter. So what you can do, you've got that there just for the red channel. Now I'm not going to do it. Well, let's do it for the green. I'm just going to apply the same. However, what I can also do, of course, is filters and maybe a blur. Let's just Gaussian blur. And you can see there. Now, of course, I've lost the repeat now for that. So what you can do, reset it, and you can see the design there. So you can create some very interesting designs by doing that sort of combination. Let's just undo all that. And also reset it to make certain all the red, green, blue. Now, what you can also do, you can use layers. So you can go to Layer, and you can duplicate the layer. So you duplicate it, and you can just resize it if you want. So you can do that. Once you've done that, what you do, you can again go to Filters, Distort, and Equations. Unfortunately, because the doesn't remember the last equation, you have to enter it again. That's why it's probably best to have a document that you can just quickly get the formula from, and there, just enter it quickly, and then enter it there, again there, and again down to the mirror. And you can see your design there. Now you get some transparency, which is really cool as well. So you can see the effect there, and you can move that around. And you move that around, you can see a whole load of, which of course you can combine. If you've got multiple layers, you can combine these effects together. So apply it again with that. And of course you could apply it again if you want to. So filter, repeat, and you get even more unusual ones. Again with transparency, so if I clear that, you can see through the design. So just going to undo that, go remove that. Well, you can also use, of course, the effect with maybe a shape. So you don't have to use just this, you can just go for shape. With a shape like a triangle or any of the other shapes you can create using the shape tools there. What you do, you can go to Filters, And again, unfortunately, repeat blur is not available. Would be nice. You can also use it with type, but I'd otherwise spend hours doing this. So filters, distort, and equations. Again, unfortunately, you have to enter it again. It's just a feature of the way they've done it. Wish they would implement it slightly different, but that's that. And you can see then, well, you can just select that. You get quite quick doing that if you want to do that. Right, you can see the effect there. You can really distort the design, that shape design. Now it's a pixel layer at this point, so you can see the end result there. And you can move it around, of course, and do all those sort of things. And of course, depends on the complexity of the shape, you can create some really amazing designs. So let's just undo that. Now, unfortunately, again, repeat equations is back. That's a bit of luck, so I don't have to type it again. Now, once you've done that, what you can also do, and I'm just going to quickly go over here, you can go up to, got obviously filters, you can go to distort, whatever, equations or repeat equations, but you can also use this as a pattern layer. Actually, before I do pattern layers, I'm going to use selections. That's another thing I was suddenly trying to think. I think rectangular marquee tool. I can just select there, and then of course I can just go repeat equations, and it will just be applied to that design there. So once you've done that, now pattern layers. So layer and new pattern layer from selection. You can use the whole thing or just a selection. And you can see that, sorry, I've got someone outside doing some DIY for some weird reason. Obviously a lovely, glorious day, and obviously straight away must get out and do some DIY. So you've got your design there, and you can see a lovely pattern there. And it's really good setting the mirror feature. So with the mirror feature set, you can see that lovely seamless tile design. But what you can do, you can go here and you can use repeat equations, and you can see the design there. But what also you can do, of course, is go back to filters and distort and equations, and you can, of course, let's just enter the values again. Now, the formulas here, you don't have to keep. You can tweak them. Say you want to, you can always edit them. This is not, cast in stone. This formula, just go there, select that, bring that one in, and then mirror. And you can see your design there. Now you can't go to the pattern layer selection tool, unfortunately, while you're inside this panel. It loses it, unfortunately. But what you can do, of course, you can still modify these parameters. You can modify the parameters there, and you can create a whole range of different designs. And you can move that around and change these. But again, as mentioned, you can change these. So if you don't want that, you can say that Rx divided by 2. Or divided by 10. Or just Rx there. Or maybe put 2 in front of that. So 3 times that. Or maybe go through, let's say, so square root there, put it there, divided by 4. And so on and so on. So you can create a whole number of variations on this simply by tweaking this thing. Or maybe put a sine function in here. So instead of that, just put sine bracket Ry. And you can put a sine function in it and create some variations using that. And there's a whole range of different various functions that you can use. Well, I hope you found this tutorial about the rippled crunch effect of interest. Always adding new tutorials about Photoshop, Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, Publisher. Oh, you can use this also in Publisher and Designer if you've got Photo. If you've got Photo, you can use the persona feature to use there. Once you've done that, I hope you find it obviously super interesting in that application as well. It does actually work really well. If you've got any comments, always great to add some comments. If I've done something wrong or too quick, please let me know. Or maybe you want something else explained, please let me know. And also I can also update my article about this filter on my website. So maybe with additional information. A dislike or like, always appreciated. Thank you much.